Be sure to subscribe for your chance to win a custom leather playmat when we hit 2,500 subscribers. Welcome to Fast Effect Double Speed Magic the Gathering from ELD's Time Vault Games Discord, as we are playing live over the internet every Wednesday and Friday. Here we have Pyle Souza venturing out with a Once Upon a Time, finding a land, and now a Cabal Therapy in the Dark versus Ben. And Pyle probably going to be pretty disappointed. He was an underdog to hit anything there. Not a lot of overlap with humans. And too many other decks. I mean, you do have Aether Vial, of course. Processing exactly what this is going to look like. And game one, you gotta like Hogaak's chances game one. Not going to be a ton of interaction from humans, and it feels like Hogaak can probably do much more broken things, but we'll have to see how it plays out. We play the games for a reason. And I believe we've got an Altar of Dementia hitting. That is a very dangerous card, enabling really the combo element of the deck. The ability to mill yourself and then mill your opponent out. Really eliminating the necessity to even have an attack step. We've got Champion of the Parish. And very little milling going on here. No real creatures yet. Champion of the Parish is joined by Noble Hierarch. Going to be able to smash for 4 here with Athalia's Lieutenant. Spreading those +1/+1 counters around. And now a Noble. Growing both the Athalia's Lieutenant and the Champion of the Parish. And able to get in there for 6 with this Champion. Bayous. Now, I believe getting a Vengevine. Most likely scenario here is Vengevine blocking and then being sacrificed before damage. And Meddling Mage coming down. That is likely going to be naming Hogaak. So the keeping Vengevine behind would have allowed... I'm a little surprised at that scoop. I guess there wasn't much of a likely end game there. I don't know. I'm a little surprised there. I'm kind of picturing a situation where you get Bridge from Belows, and I guess with the Meddling Mage on board naming Hogaak, you know, you got Gravecrawler. I don't know. I guess perhaps I'll rewatch this one after. We do these in one take, so a lot of videos. New video every single day. If you're new to the channel, you can expect a Legacy video every single day. And occasionally some other videos mixed in as well. When there are new sets coming out, we'll do the spoilers for those. And occasionally some deck techs. If there's any type of videos that you're interested in, let me know in the comments, and we'll see about getting some of those done for you. Meddling Mage. A really powerful magic card. Something that I used to main deck way back in the day in my first really, truly competitive vintage deck, Super Grow. was a Miracle Grow variant that had white for Swords to Plowshares, Meddling Mage, and Mystic Enforcer, a 6/6 flying pro-black creature for 2, a green and a white. He was a finisher back in the day, bigger than a Morphling. And we've got a Stitcher Supplier, milling 3, I believe, seeing a Vengevine. Noble Hierarch off of Cavern of Souls. The uncounterability not going to be relevant in this matchup, but the mana fixing is strong so far. We've got a Rainbow Land with Cavern, and then Noble Hierarch can help out as well. So Ben's going to be able to cast pretty much whatever humans he draws. It's the strength and the drawback of the deck. We've got a Thalia and a Mother of Runes. Thalia not super strong versus Hogaak compared to really any of the other combo decks. Might be at its worst here. The combo itself is essentially casting Hogaak over and over again into an Altar of Dementia, and Thalia doesn't interact with that really at all. Got a Hedron Crab and Hogaak showing up. Now he is legendary, so Karakas can be a real hindrance. But short of that, this is a massive, massive body. We've got a Meddling Mage. And that trample looks like it's ready to do some work. Thalia's Lieutenant pumping the whole team. Representing enough damage to actually take out a Hogaak. Hedron Crab and Stitcher Supplier both representing additional mill as a possibility. Hogaak is turning sideways. See if Ben just opts to absorb this. I mean, he can at least use the Mother of Runes to soak up some of the damage. Oh, perhaps she was sick last turn? She may have been sick. That is more likely. A Noble Hierarch comes down, grows the Thalia's Lieutenant, and now 3 mana for a Mirren Crusader. His pro-black and pro-green gives him all sorts of protection. But that trample doesn't really care about assigning a few points of damage to that Mirren Crusader first. Combat rules are pretty weird now. Now we've got a Vengevine and a Gravecrawler, bringing back another Vengevine from the graveyard. Now Thalia can actually kill off a Vengevine, no problem. Bridge from Below, a super important card in this deck. Of course, part of the combo, but also just gives it some real resiliency. Cards like Supreme Verdict, too slow and too ineffective versus a deck like Vengevine. Hedron Crab has done his job. He steps in the way of a Mirren Crusader. One of the only creatures on board that can actually block it. And I believe a Wasteland hitting Dryad Arbor. Removing a body. And it looks like a lot of aggression here, but not full tilt. We've got a Vengevine hanging back. So Gravecrawler and the Vengevine getting taken down. Hogaak pushing through the damage. And this time, I am pretty surprised that Mother of Rune's not involved. Sorry for the glare in my face there, the sun just coming in at a tough angle, but gonna power through. Wasteland takes out another mana source from pile, losing an Underground Sea, cutting him off of blue mana. Very close game here, and looks like just gonna swing all out and see where things fall. Looks like lining up in front of Hogaak. And then the Vengevine and the Stitcher Supplier. We've got a Assassin's Trophy in response to the Mother of Runes activation. And that is going to push through the final 3 damage. Wow. We're on to game number 3. So that Meddling Mage, Mother of Runes went to protect it, and Pyle had the Assassin's Trophy to get it out of the way before damage was assigned, meaning that 3 damage could trample over to deal exact lethal. That was a super close game. Nice. Oh, that's so much better. Hey, there we go. Sun was brutal. Yeah, Hogaak, a very powerful choice. I think underplayed relative to the power level. I mean, when cards are getting banned out of other formats, that's usually a point of interest for me for Legacy. A lot of the time, if a deck is too good for Modern, it's going to be even better in Legacy. It's just a question of how does that then fit into the larger Legacy metagame. Phoenix decks are like that as well. Arclight Phoenix, a very powerful strategy. Faithless Looting. There's some cards that have been deemed too good for other formats, which I think are worth consideration in Legacy. And we've seen some people playing them on camera. Pyle's been doing quite well with Hogaak, I believe. Traditionally using Check Pile and other multicolored control decks. You know there's something going on if you're going to pull a typically control-oriented player into more of a kind of combo aggro deck. I mean, it's pretty aggro. And here we see a Champion of the Parish, oh, that's the one that gives a +1/+1 counter at end of turn. So one of the Champion of the Parish being taken. And this is a tough spot to be in. Ben Mulling really low. Does have the Vial, has the land as well, so Champion's going to get 2 counters out of this. You know, the deck functioning, but now it's a race. And Pile has a lot more resources here to begin with, and also we're just going to see a lot more essential card drawing. I mean, when you're putting cards into the graveyard with Hogaak, it's very similar to drawing cards. So many things come back from the graveyard. You're looking for just raw cards to be able to be used to delve, to get the 8/8 into play. And Ben, BE aggressive, turning everything sideways. Pile going to go ahead and sack that Stitcher Supplier for the team, throwing it in front and getting some more cards into the bin. No bridge from below, I believe. We've got a careful study. And Ben's hand would have been totally fine if he had like a rest in peace or something to go along with this. But as it is, even with this increased aggression, doesn't feel great. You can't rest too easy against this Hogaak deck. More milling. Another Stitcher Supplier. And if he can cast another creature, there's a Gravecrawler. There come back 2-3 Vengevines, and just like that, things are turning on a dime. That is what I'm talking about. That is 12 damage potentially incoming. And let's see. Gonna choose to just send 8. I am not sure about holding that other Vengevine back, but that is perhaps the more conservative route. Not clear on what that accomplishes, but this is a fairly complex game state to handle at double speed. A lot of combat. Not typically what Legacy is known for, is complex combat steps. But it can happen. And Vengevine's just so relentless. One of them going to the graveyard. That is going to get a couple of zombie tokens. And no follow-up. Not able to get back the Vengevine, but I mean the board state is just monstrous here. Ben has to just pass the turn. That is, things are not going to get any better with Kyle drawing a card. It happens to be a fetch land, enabling for 3 cards immediately, and likely going to follow up with the fetch just to get the extra cards and see if he can spike a Hogaak. Or find some additional support out of the graveyard, Gravecrawler. Fetching. I think that's backwards. If you sacrifice the fetch land, you activate. There's the landfall trigger on top of that, right? I think you actually have to mill before you get the land. We've got an Assassin's Trophy, clearing that Champion of the Parish, and that is a devastating blow here. Ben, I believe, taking lethal here. Yeah, he's just drawing some extra cards. So good start there for Ben. But ultimately, those Vengevines coming back from the graveyard, a little reminiscent of how Survival of the Fittest got banned in the first place. Such a powerful Magic card. That is all for this one. But don't worry, there is a lot more. You can check out our older videos, and we're always putting out new videos from ELD's Time Vault Games in Bellingham, Massachusetts. If you want to help the channel, of course, you can like, subscribe, share, tap that notification bell so you can know the next time our new videos come out. Thanks for watching.